What's up, Z? Let me know how the audio is. I'm not sure if the audio is picking up on my phone or if it's picking up on my AirPod at the moment. This is the first live that I've ever done. I saw your video down at the Bilo. That was pretty cool. I'm not sure if you saw my comment about the. Oh, awesome, cool, pretty clear. Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw my comment about what is it called? Meeting Street Eats. So I guess it was a food truck set up there for a little while, and I guess it's out. So I guess all of that stuff that's inside the Bilo was stuff that they were using for that Meeting Street Eats. So, because that was that document that you saw in the window there for the certificate of occupancy. So you came down and filmed the Kmart, huh? Did you possibly get in? I still haven't seen anybody with the doors open here. The last time that I came down and the doors were open in the back, they were getting rid of all of the pallets from when this was the medical center or the medical distribution center for the VA. See, we got two people on the live. How's everybody doing? Just wanted to come to you randomly here on a kind of a gloomy Saturday in North Charleston, South Carolina. We are in front of the Kmart that is on Rivers Avenue. I'll drive around in a moment here when we get a few more folks joining in on the live, if we get a few more folks joining in on the live. And this location, for those of you that are on, which Z already knows, this location again was a Kmart, and then for a certain span of time, I'm not really sure, was a medical distribution center. Yeah, it was definitely cool to see in. Yeah, I got one little clip, but I in the back when the back door was open here a few months ago when they were taking the pallets out. And it looks like off to the right side there of that door. I know it's a little fuzzy on the video. It looks like somebody's still sleeping here, or two people are still sleeping here at night. There's somebody actually walking from the left side right now. We're going to drive around for a minute here. I've got the phone mounted so everything's safe, so you guys don't have to worry about me as I'm driving along. There we see a gentleman walking around. I don't want to bother him. Now, the area that I'm driving through right now actually was an area that used to be fenced, and I'm not sure why it was fenced. It said it was protected by the police for North Charleston. And then you see there that mailbox, it says Charleston CMOP. So I believe that was the Central Medical OP. I'm not sure what that stood for. Obviously, we all know what OPP stands for. And then you'll see the there that the roof is coming down just a little bit on this overhang. That's actually a first. So the weather's probably getting to that here. We're going to drive around, and off to the left here, that's actually the new library that's here in North Charleston for the former mayor, or actually, I think he might still be mayor of the town. I'm not sure if the new mayor's been sworn in yet. And here we see the garden center, the old garden center, and of course, the barbed wire here at the Kmart. So I guess for the workers that used to be at the CMOP, that used to be their area where they would kind of have breaks. Well, I would love to get into this Kmart, but I think it's totally vacated. Okay, now this is actually new here. I'm going to back up. So the garden center area, um, and I have the phone mounted on the windshield, so that's why I'm going to back up. Right here, there used to be dumpsters from Edie's Waste. So they are gone. So Edie's must have came and picked them up. And then you see the old lights that used to light up the garden center. So just think about back in the day about the Christmas trees that people used to pick up here, probably at Kmart in this garden center. Now, also back behind the Kmart, which I was unaware of, there is a post office. It's actually a pretty good post office to drop stuff off. There usually isn't a line. Here's one of the loading docks, and you'll see up above CMOP shipping dock. So again, this was a central location for medical, for all of the prescriptions for the VA that used to get sent out. And it looks like the HVAC units are still in decent shape. Looks like there's another little receiving area that used to be for the Kmart. And for those of you that will see this live video, I'll leave it up for a while. I actually have this drive around and a recent visit to this Kmart up on my channel. Now, as we move forward, the back here, you'll see some cars. This is the back of the CSL Plasma. So there is a plasma location here, and I'm going to spin around a little bit so we can see into the corner. So there's been a lot of cleanup here actually at this Kmart. This corner that I'm going to show you right there, that was actually full of stuff just about a month or two ago. So that is good to see that they are cleaning things up. There was a lot of random stuff that was back there. And we're going to go ahead and drive around. And also next to the CSL Plasma, there is a retail location that I guess was a very small grocery store back in the day when Kmart was here. And that, I believe, had some remediation going on. I believe maybe they had some roof issues, maybe things were leaking. And there was a dumpster out in front. That dumpster is now gone. And so we're going to take a look in a moment here. And again, I'm not going to get out of the car, but I do have the camera or the phone mounted here. Sorry, just trying to pay attention so that I don't drive into anything. And then also, that is the old VA building right there. I believe you see that building that's about 8 stories high. I believe that was the old VA hospital back in the day, or it was the old federal building. Z, let me know if you're still listening. And there, we almost got in an accident. Jeez. All right, caught him last second. But this right here, you see CSL's off to the right, and there's a location right there. And I have that on video, and that actually looks like they've cleaned up the inside. I believe the ceiling was having issues. I don't want to get this person on video here. They're obviously not in the best of condition at the moment. And we're going to go for a drive on Rivers Avenue. Again, the phone is mounted to my windshield, so don't worry about me driving around. I'm just going to basically talk and drive, and we are going to go see some other places. Now, this is the Boost Mobile. Now, this is actually active, so it is a location that is still open. Now, for those of you from here, and yeah, pretty sure it was the VA. Cool, thanks, Z. For those of you from here, what was this back in the day? Was this a Church's Chicken or was this another brand? Obviously, some type of food. The location is really dreary. There's so much up and down Rivers Avenue that just really needs a good hosing and really a good painting. It's very sad to see that a lot of Rivers Avenue is really dreary. So let's go down Rivers and see what's going on. So we passed the sign for what would have been Kmart back in the day. We're going to pass the Keith Summy Library. Again, that's the mayor that is not continuing on as mayor here for North Charleston. They're going to be voting in a new mayor. Yeah, I think moved to the Super Center in the 90s. Yep. Yeah, here's actually the library. My apologies. So that's a brand new building that they're putting up. And let's see here. Got a red light. And we're about to go into the area of Rivers that has the bus stop or the bus terminal. And usually there's a lot of folks hanging around out there. And we're just passing by the VA right now off to the left side. Very secured area. Think if anybody ever tries to get on properties like that, it's probably a federal offense, unfortunately. It'd be nice to get into that building and see what's going on. So here off to the left a little bit is the bus terminal. And I think it might also be for the train. We got a lady or somebody running across the street here. So we got a metro off to the left. There was a metro off to the right there. I'm going to pass by Church's Chicken in a moment. And then also, we're going to pass by something really cool here, the Starlight Motor Inn. So I'm not sure if folks, and here's another rundown gas station off to the right side, really rundown gas stations here on River. This Starlight Motor Inn is really cool. It is kind of like a artiste type motel. I haven't been there, but I've seen videos on it where it is kind of almost like a hotel that you would have had back in the day, like in Miami or maybe even Myrtle Beach, one of like the motor hotels. We're going to make a left here, and then we're going to spin back around and take a look back up Rivers because there's really not much here. We're starting to head more into the commercial industrial area of North Charleston and then down into Charleston itself. So we're going to spin back around. And for those of you that are watching and know Z's on, if anybody else that is a subscriber to my channel, let me know who's on there. Join me in the chat here. I've got the phone mounted to my windshield, so everything is safe. And I'm going to move forward here. And what we can do is we start to head up Rivers. We are going to come by the Presbyterian church that I filmed recently. And it looks like the developer that was purchasing that property probably closed on it because the property was actually looking in decent shape when I drove past about 5-10 minutes ago before starting the live. And there's the metro. It used to be a bank. I actually would love to film that. But there's usually a lot of folks hanging out from the bus station here over near that metro. And I really don't want to go filming people and get into any situations. All right, I see we got 3 on the live. Hello, everybody. For those of you that are on, we are on Rivers Avenue, North Charleston. We just visited the Kmart. And we're not able to get in, unfortunately, but drove around. It's still a nice old school Kmart. We're going to pass by that Kmart again here in a moment. Now, off to the left, I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see it, possibly not because of the camera angle. There's an old Payless shoe source, and that is now a liquor store, unfortunately. I would really like to film that Payless, but I'm sure there's nothing left on the inside now that of it being a liquor store. Weather down here in Charleston today, it's almost 70 degrees, but it's a really weird, like wet and cold 70 degrees. It almost feels like it's in the 50s. It's really strange. So really dreary day down here. And Kmart's off to the left there. We're just passing the sign. You're probably not going to be able to see it based upon the angle of the camera. We're going to take a look at some other retail places up and down Rivers. And in fact, coming up in a moment here, we actually have the Dairy Queen that is a really cool Chinese restaurant. So back in the day, there was a old school Dairy Queen. And actually, you know what? We've got Burger King off to the left here. Hold on one second. Let's go see Burger King, guys, and see what's going on in the parking lot. So here we go. Here's our Burger King. So this is our abandoned Burger King on Rivers in North Charleston. Now, I think I have a video up on this one. I know Z, I'm pretty sure you do. And crazy. What are you doing? I'm blowing leaves at a commercial property and watching video at the same time. I can't hear anything though. That's all right, man. You can watch it later. And it doesn't really matter. Anything that I'm saying is not of any importance anyway. And so here is our Burger King. And when I filmed this, I think I wound up filming it in the angle that you see right now, and it came out all weird. I'll have to come back and actually do this one. But what I really find fascinating with this specific Burger King is that it's not boarded up. Now there's an auto body place next door, so they're probably keeping an eye on it. So I'll spin back around here in a moment, as long as there's nobody in the back of the property. There is some Usually some shady stuff going on in the back of these properties. So I'm going to back up here and we're going to see the drive-through. There you see nuggets, 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 the little light up. So yeah, the one on Dorchester is all boarded up. Oh yeah, the one on Dorchester. Yeah, I believe the amount of crime. See, one of the good things I think that's happening here in Rivers is that there's enough businesses that are keeping their eye on the other buildings and probably keeping the crime away. But I could still imagine at night, there's a lot of folks walking up and down this stretch of road. And so again, I'm not getting out of the car, guys. I'm just going to be filming here and the phone is mounted to the windshield, so everything is safe. And I tell you what, this Burger King is actually in really good shape. Yeah, I wish Kmart would come back. I agree, crazy. I was up in Orangeburg this morning and also in Columbia. I've got some good videos coming for you guys. I've got barbecue place in Columbia. I've got the movie theater that recently closed in Columbia. I've got another movie theater in Orangeburg. And so got a lot of good stuff coming. And so, as we spin around here again for the other side of the Burger King, it's really cool to see that the shrubs are actually being maintained. So the property manager, or the realtor, I should say, looks to be taking really good care of the property. So that's good, rather than it getting beat up here. And so that was our Burger King on Rivers. Now we are going to make another left and we are going to go up and we are going to see the Dairy Queen. So it is coming up on the left here. I'll show you in a moment. Now, this Dairy Queen is now a Chinese restaurant. It is absolutely so cool. So we're going to turn in. Check out this place, guys. Now, I believe I have a video or shorts on this one. I don't remember if I did a full video, but this would have been where you would have pulled through, obviously, for your ice cream back in the day. Take a look at the barbed wire that's off to the right side there. So this is the side entrance that I guess is not an entrance anymore. So there's barbed wire all there to stop people from breaking in. And also, I'll spin back around. One of the pretty cool things about this Dairy Queen, now Chinese place, is that the story on this place, I believe, is that the gentleman or the family that owns it bought it like 30 or 35 years ago. And they have had this as a Chinese restaurant ever since, which is really cool. Check out that restroom. That door, I think, is about as wide as me. And so I'm not sure if that is still the bathroom for this restaurant. If it is, I'd be very surprised, because obviously allowing people on Rivers Avenue to just go ahead and walk in to that bathroom, I could only imagine what would be going on. And so take a look at just how cool this old Dairy Queen is. Now, my Dairy Queen when I grew up was back in Jersey on Heightstown and Route 130, and it was very, very similar to this one, where it was the red roof, and then you'd have the Dairy Queen sign up top. And this restaurant, I still want to come and eat here. I'm sure the food's okay. Most Chinese food is, and I love having some sweet and sour chicken and also some chicken and broccoli. But there is the old Dairy Queen, or I assume Brazier, possibly, the sign. So this Chinese restaurant is still in operation. They're only open Monday through Friday from 11:30 to 5, and everything in the place, let me back up again so you guys can see, everything in the place is still like original. So when you look inside there, if you see the little lamps that are hanging down just from the top of the window, there's little amber colored lamps that look like old carriage lights. And I mean, it is so cool to see that all of that stuff is there. And then also the flooring, like the counter to order, and also all of the booths, they're still the same from, whenever it was 40, 50 years ago when this was a Dairy Queen. And so I love finding places like this. And so we're going to head back up Rivers a little bit more here and see what we stumble into. We've got, what's up? It's cool that, yeah, the old facade's awesome. What's up, Tech and Bold? How you doing? No, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Share the feed, guys. This is my first live since doing a thousand subs or hitting 1,000 subs. So one, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And so we are doing some of the retail area of Rivers Avenue in North Charleston. For those of you that have just joined, we went and visited the Kmart that has been closed for many, many years. Really massive Kmart. Then we also visited just now the old Dairy Queen, and we also visited the Burger King that has gone out. Now, this is First Baptist Church. I do have a video on this place, so please check it out in my library. Now, this place, I believe, just recently was purchased by a developer. So yeah, hey, what's up, middle child? Nice to see you. So yeah, thanks. First live, had a little bit of time to kill. One of my children has activity session going on today, so they are close to where I'm at right now. But I just wanted to come out and do a live, say hi to everybody, see who came out to watch. We got a dreary day here in North Charleston, kind of cool, even though it's 67 degrees, but it feels like it's in its 50s. So this Baptist church, I believe, went out about 2 to 3 years ago, and the property went up for sale. Now, to my knowledge, the developer bought this. I believe it was either 1 or $2 million, or $1.2 million, if I've got my numbers right. And beautiful old church. The amber glass that's on the outside here in the windows. I know it might be kind of tough to tell in the picture. And for those of you that have just joined, my phone is mounted to my windshield. I am not holding it, so everything is safe. It's basically like you're in the car with me and we're just going for a drive. And this place is so cool. This is a really nice church. Now, this church also was a school in the back. So check out my video on this church. Search for First Baptist Church. And there, we'll see in a second here, there was the side entrance to the church. And also behind that, that's where the school was. So I'll go ahead and spin around. And it looks like somebody has luckily cleaned up the parking lot, because this parking lot was a real mess. Give me a moment here to go ahead. Now, this was all overgrown when I did the video. This was an absolute mess. And you'll see forward there, there is some doors with an overhang. That was the entrance for the school. And the windows, you can see some of them aren't in the best of shape, but I don't think there's been vandalism, luckily, at the property. So I'm very glad to see that. And we're going to spin around here, and we are going to see behind the church where the school is. There's a little bit of a playground area. Just make sure everything's safe here. A lot of times on these streets through North Charleston, you get a lot of random people walking around. All right. So there is a mattress, and there is the school. Now, that's one of the buildings of the school. And again, it looks like there hasn't been vandalism here yet. Now, this was all overgrown when I was here a few months ago. This entire area was all overgrown. It was an absolute mess. And up on this door here that I just showed you from an angle right there, there's actually sign, I believe. Yeah, now that I think about it, this went out. This school and this church closed right about the time when the C-19 lockdowns, I think, were lifted, because there is a sign up on that door that basically says, "Please wear your mask," and it with the wording of it basically gave me the idea that it was definitely like right after the lockdowns and everybody started coming back around. And here you see the back entrance. There's what probably is a little bit of a boiler room down there. You see a little tiny area that's only about 3 feet off the ground. And we're going to spin around here. And for those of you that have just joined, we're doing a little visit around North Charleston to some of the abandoned and closed buildings and retail that both Z and myself know. Z's not with me, but I think he's in the live. So if you guys have any questions about North Charleston, Z might be able to answer those for you while I'm driving. And we're going to take a look again in the back here. So there is a playground area that is unfortunately rotting away. So you got an old bell there, which is really cool, almost like an old Liberty Bell. And check out the slides and the old swings. That is really cool to see. And again, the windows look to be in decent shape. Luckily, people are not throwing rocks through the windows, thank goodness. And we're going to make a right here and we're going to head back out onto Rivers. And again, for those of you that have joined, we went and visited the Kmart on Rivers that is abandoned, and it's been abandoned for a long time. Then we did our Burger King on Rivers, and then we also visited the church just now. And what else did we see? There was one other store that I can't even remember now. I'm talking myself into a circle. But let's go ahead and make our way back to Rivers, and we're going to make a left, and you'll see some of the retail. A lot of retail up and down Rivers. Oh, I see an old school phone next to the Jamaican grill, but I don't think there's probably a, no, there is not a phone. So right where that Challenger just pulled out, there was a old telephone. Trying to make sure we don't get in an accident here. There's usually a lot of traffic up and down Rivers. A lot of random folks driving around on a Saturday afternoon like me. So, all right. So let's go ahead and now what we'll also see here in a moment, we're going to check out what is a new or newer Save-A-Lot that I believe used to be a Rite Aid. So we've got a little bit of retail off to the right side there, and we're going to see here in a moment the Save-A-Lot. We're going to pass by Save-A-Lot and get through this light, and we're going to see what else we see heading up Rivers. And again, the phone's mounted to the windshield, so everything is safe. I'm not holding anything. See some guys on the side of the road there. I think we might be out of focus in a moment here. We'll let it focus back in. A lot of old places up and down Rivers. Very fascinating area for Charleston. A lot of rundown places, also mixed in with a lot of big money places. This is an area of Charleston where literally it's like one moment you could be at a multi-million-dollar area, and then the next moment you're in an area that's really high crime. So, all right. Let's see, I'm trying to think. Oh, you know what? You know where we're going to go, guys? We're actually going to go to the Radisson Hotel, and we're going to see if it's not roped off at all. So stay with me here. The live's been going for almost 30 minutes. I really appreciate you guys joining, having some fun with me on a Saturday. I had a little bit of time to kill here. Gonna have me a little bit of the G Fuel. If you guys haven't had the Pac-Man G Fuel, definitely get some. Nice cherry flavor. Nothing like a guy in his late 40s that's drinking energy drinks like Pac-Man. So, all right, so we're going to be probably a few minutes away from the Radisson heading up here. But I think you guys will love seeing the Radisson, and hopefully we won't have police on site. A lot of times there are police at that property because there's a lot of homeless folks that are hanging around. And we've got a car next to us that is a really good example of what's down here in Charleston. His car is very, very beat up, and which is sad to see. But the reason I bring that up is because car insurance is massively expensive here in Charleston and in South Carolina. I don't know what it is, but people don't use like tie down straps or ratchet straps on their trucks and cars when they're moving things around. So you'll be driving along and there literally will be like a log in the road or there'll be furniture just in the road. It's pretty crazy to see. And unfortunately, it creates a lot of bad accidents. And we're crossing over 526 right now. That's the beltway that goes around Charleston and basically connects Mount Pleasant and goes around Charleston into North Charleston and then goes down into, look at these guys driving like crazy, and then goes down into West Ashley. All right, so stay with me, guys. We're going to be visiting the abandoned Radisson in a moment here. Thank you for joining me on the live. Again, first live since getting 1,000 subs. Really appreciate it. We're coming up on some more of the retail here. A little bit more of the retail area, commercial area of Rivers. And off to the right side here in a moment, you're going to see after this Vietnamese cuisine, you're going to see like a red cupola. Now, that is a place called Megapawn, and that was an old Ethan Allen back in the day. So, an old Ethan Allen. Oh, you know what? We just passed by Vehicles Direct. Dang, I wish, we'll hit that on the way back. That have seen my video where it's got Ashton Kutcher on the thumbnail. I think Dude, Where's My Car or something like that, or Dude, Where's My Abandoned Car? I forget what I called it. There's Autos Direct that I filmed. And yeah, crazy. Just mentioned South Carolina's nasty with litter, especially the Midlands area. Yep, definitely. I was just up in Columbia early this morning and then also spent some time in Orangeburg back home here in Charleston. Again, guys, we're going to go check out the Radisson in a moment here and see if I can pop in there. And you know what we're going to do? Also, we're going to trying to think. No, you know what? That church is chicken. There's nothing really all that exciting going on. Now the Radisson's off to the left side. What I've got to do is I've got to drive down a little bit further and then wrap back. There's no way of making a left onto that property. Actually, yes, there is. I thought there wasn't a turn. There is. We're going to go past this Charger. We're going to try and make a left real quick. Ooh, here we go. All right, guys, we are here. Welcome to the Radisson in North Charleston, South Carolina. Yes. All right, guys. Now, this property is a mess. I will not be getting out of the car. The camera is mounted to my dash. But if you see here, this is the entrance to the old Radisson. Now, I'll get a little bit closer here, but you see they ran a chain across here that I guess people have already knocked over. And there is also a chain off to the right side that I'm going to drive past right now. But this has really gotten worse since I have filmed this. And this is the first time that I'm pulling in since filming it. I'm going to spin back around here and try not to drive over a rock. Take a look at all of the wood that they have had to cover the glass with because these animals here keep breaking the glass. It really sucks. Now, I will say there's less debris around since the last time I was here. So the property owner or manager or the city is luckily taking care of the property around. But even right there where you see the wood that's covering that glass, that wasn't there last time. The glass was fine. Now, here are the lower level rooms and I'm not going to get out of the car again. Really don't want to get into an altercation with anybody. But all of the air conditioners have been ripped out. And as we see in the rooms here, they've all been gutted. Now, this hotel is basically the eyesore of North Charleston. When you drive down towards the beach, I'm going to spin around here so you can get a wider view of the hotel. Um, and there's Route 26, by the way, the exit for Route 26. So this hotel was like the place to be back in the day. People definitely, it looks like cameras going off there. Probably set the camera off, one's flashing. But this hotel was like the place to be. This is where they had conventions and meetings. And then basically way more places have opened up since then. But this place, when you're on Route 26 heading down towards the city of Charleston, and heading down towards the beach, you see this place and it is pretty nasty. Now, we will see here. I got somebody following me, guys. Hold on. Oh, shoot. I don't know what this person's doing here and why they're back here. Obviously, I don't know why I'm back here too. But give me a moment here. Let me get this person off my tail here. I'm not sure why they're on my tail. So let's see. I'm going to go into this other parking lot here and see if they follow me. This is a parking lot for a school. Oh, come on, dude. You following me, brother? I don't know what this person's doing, but it's definitely not a cop. So, and if they get off my tail, then we're going to go back in. I've never had anybody come up on me like that when driving around in an abandoned building. All right, car went away. All right, so let's go back here. Well, that sucks. There's the hotel. Okay, so let's get a wide angle shot there. There's the hotel. And in the front part, and sorry for it being a little bit cloudy there, let me try and adjust the phone so that it, there you go. Maybe that's a little bit better. Sorry, trying to get this mount. There we go. That might be a little bit better. All right, so there is the hotel. So you had the old Radisson sign up on the top. And this thing is still mounted weird. Hold on. Let me try and fix this for you guys. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Okay. Um, there you see the Radisson. What we got? One, two, three, four, five. I think this has about 7 or 8 floors, but in the front there, you'll see a lot of the domed skylights. Now that area is where the pool is at, and so check out my video on this abandoned Radisson for North Charleston. I did the video maybe about 2 ago, so we're gonna go back and drive around here. Like I said, somebody all of a sudden came flying up on my tail when I was just driving. You never know if people are watching out or there's some type of deal going down. Now, this, I guess, is an old bank, and it is now a title loan place. Here in South Carolina, these title loan places, they're all over, taking advantage of people and giving them high interest loans, unfortunately. Here is the area that was kind of like the meeting spot of the conference center. And this was all kicked in the last time I was here. And let's see what else. There are cameras all over the place now. Now, this is an area where there were some homeless folks, I think, setting up, uh, maybe where they were sleeping, a lot of boxes. I'm not sure if people are getting into this property or not. And let's see here. This is the area, and again, for those of you that just joined, I will not be getting out. Oh, was it a service merchandise back in the day? Really? Oh, that's awesome. I tell you what, I never had service merchandise, or I never went to a service merchandise. We had them in Jersey, so I grew up with Best. So thanks for that, middle child. Unmarked police car. No, crazy. Luckily, it wasn't an unmarked police car. It was actually a pretty beat up Nissan Versa. So here, guys, you see the pool area. So this was almost like, Holiday Inn's version of that Holidome back in the day, or the Holiday Drome, or whatever they used to call it, where a lot of families that wanted to get out of bad weather or just wanted to like staycation, they would rent, or they would rent a room at the Holiday Dome, or whatever it was called, and they'd always have like a nice pool. So yeah, middle child, thank you. That is awesome. I got to go back here in a moment, but I just wanted to get the rest of this. So if you guys take a look around, other than the glass Route 26, you'll see the cars flying past. That's the main highway that goes to Charleston, and then all the way up to Columbia in the center of the state. And so this, I'm going to back up so you guys can see it. When you're driving past, let's see, guys. All right. I think you guys might be back on with me. I see 7 viewers. I'm not sure what's going on. I keep getting dropped on the signal. I'm actually in a very good signal area here in North Charleston. But that is the side of the building that you see when you fly past or drive past here. So that is it, guys. That's the Radisson here that is abandoned and hopefully going to be redeveloped soon. I see we got 9 folks on the live. Join me in the chat, guys. The phone is mounted to the windshield, so for safety purposes. And basically, you're just driving along with me. For those of you that just joined, we have visited the Kmart that is abandoned on Rivers Avenue. We have visited the Burger King abandoned on Rivers. We have visited the church that was abandoned. We have visited the Chinese restaurant that used to be a Dairy Queen, which is really cool, but that's actually still in operation. And so we are leaving the Radisson right now because obviously I have probably gone past my time. And luckily the cops did not show up. There's usually police here on this property whenever I drive past. So it's good that we were able to get a few moments, and you guys will be able to go back and watch the live. I will keep it up we're going to go ahead and circle back around, and we're going to go see if the Popeyes is still getting renovated or worked on. And yes, it is. So, yeah, there's a Popeyes that basically, and I'm looking off to the left side here. There's a Popeyes. Oh, middle child, I forgot to go back to that service merchandise. Sorry. Um, yeah, you know what? That's so cool with service merchandise. I didn't know they were down here in Charleston. We didn't move down here till about 5 years ago. So I grew up in Jersey, and the version of service merchandise that I grew up with was Best. So I'm not sure if there was a Best down here in Charleston, but it was that same like catalog type store. And we used to get the best Transformers there. I will definitely say that. My mom and dad used to take me and used to get some really good Transformers there, and they'd always have really good Iowa stereo systems. So for those of you that grew up with Howard Stern, he used to be a big sponsor for Iowa. AIWA radios, the big tabletop radios with the big speakers, which none of us have now. But yeah, we used to go to Best for Transformers and electronics, including Iowa stereos. And so, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I never also went to Fortune Off back in the day, back up in Long Island and New York. I always wanted to go to Fortune Off. I would see commercials for it, and just waiting for the opportunity to make a left here. And we are going to, if anyone knows where the Nichols store was on Rivers, would love to know. 70s, early 80s. Okay, guys, so middle child is asking if anybody on the feed, and maybe Z might know, or maybe he's got a family member that knows, where was the old Nichols store? So was Nichols a department store, middle child? I assume the answer is yes. Or was it a toy store? I'm very curious now. Is there a possibility that Nichols was Berlin's, where the restaurant distribution place is that sells all the restaurant wares? Because that place, I know that was something else back in the day. It couldn't have always been Berlin's. And I want to go in there and actually ask them, maybe what it was. All right, guys, so we are going to check out the Popeyes that has been closed for a while now. Now, this Popeyes, I mean, there's got to be 10,000 cars a day that pass by this Popeyes. This Popeyes has had the same dumpster in front of it and has had the same whatever is going on in front of it now for months. So I was assuming, and there was a sign, it was a fire restoration place. So I was assuming there was a fire remediation. It looks like there's a permit up on the window, but I'm not getting out of the car because the phone is mounted and I don't want to have to deal with trying to remount it. Um, so this Popeyes just basically is out of business, which I find very confusing because this is one of the highest traffic areas of all of Charleston, North Charleston. But we'll drive around here and we will take a look as to, what's going on with this Popeyes. And we've got a big, big shopping center here. We got El Molino. For those of you from Charleston, if you've ever had El Molino, it is awesome. They do these big taco plates. And there's the back of Popeyes, which I'm really surprised that nobody smashed the menu board there. It's all TV menu board. This is a real tough area where I could definitely see somebody just in the night just walking up to those TV boards and just smashing them. So let's go ahead and let's get out of this parking lot, and we're going to head up Rivers a little bit more and see what else we stumble into. What we might do, depending upon how long we stay here on the live, we might actually go to the mall. Now, I won't walk around the mall because it's going to be very busy. I see middle child is saying it was something like a Grant's department store. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know Grants. I've never been to a Grants, but I do know Grants. I remember it had the old scripted font back in the day, that was kind of like an angle that like almost like Sears had, the old logo from like the 50s. All right, guys, gonna make a right here. We're gonna be heading away from Charleston, heading up towards North Charleston. Again, we're still in North Charleston. Excuse me. You've got some restaurants here off to the right side that have been converted over. You got churches. Um, we have off to the left the old Virginia College. Not that it was old, but check out my video and also Z's video on Virginia College. It was one of those colleges that went out of business, similar to like ITT, where basically everybody was in class one day and they went back the next day and it was closed. So that kind of sucks. What we're going to do here is we're going to continue to head up rivers, and I'm trying to think of any other spots off the top of my head, other between here and the mall. Z, if you're still on, if you have any other ideas, definitely let me know. Trying to think of anything else between here and the mall. And if we just make it to the mall and drive around, what we'll do is we'll check out the Ice Palace, and we will also check out the Carpets and More, or Carpets to Go location that is now abandoned, and I don't think they have worked on that yet. So hopefully something moves in there. And so we're getting closer here. There we go. There's a perfect example. We got all that stuff in the back of the truck and not one ratchet strap. Welcome to South Carolina. Everything here, nothing gets strapped down in the back of trucks. Nothing. So everything winds up on the road and everybody gets in accidents here. It's horrible. So, all right, guys, we're moving. We're moving. We got the tire place off to the right. All right, we got Goodwill off to the left. We got Trident. I think Trident Tech's got a location that was off to the right. Going to hit a few more lights. So again, guys, we're going to make our way to the mall. We're going to go to Northwoods Mall. We'll drive around Northwoods and see what's going down. We will not go into the mall because it's going to be very busy today, I'm sure. And I don't want people freaking out that I'm filming them. Oh, also, by the way, stay tuned. Possibly in the next few days, I'll have my latest video up for Inlet Square Mall in Murrells Inlet near Myrtle Beach. And there's the campus for Trident off to the right side. Trident's a technical college. I believe it might possibly even be a technical county college here for Charleston. So, Inlet Square Mall is going out of business and it's getting demolished. The anchors, I think, are staying, the buildings of the anchors, and they are going to basically turn it into some type of business center and or residential center. So, some really exciting stuff that will be going on for the Inlet Square Mall near Myrtle Beach. And I was able to get in and luckily literally filmed it 5 minutes before they were going to be closing, and the place is empty, empty, empty. All of the stores have already been told to vacate the property. By January 15th is the last day of the Inlet Square Mall. So for those of you, including Crazy and Z, if you have an opportunity to get to Murrells Inlet to film the Inlet Square Mall, definitely do that because January 15th, I believe, is the last day of the mall. So now the two malls that are here in Charleston, we have the Northwoods Mall. It's doing very well. And we also have the Citadel Mall. Now the Citadel Mall is okay. It's got a really like eclectic mix of stores, and what's mainly driving it is MUSC, the Medical University of South Carolina, is located there. They have offices, and they also have a Target there. The rest of the mall is kind of like local moms and pops, but it's not weird moms and pops. Luckily, it's not like lousy nail places or real horrible stores. It's actually some really nice community-based local stores. And off to the right here, again, we see that lovely truck with everything hanging out the back. Now, off to the right side here of where I am in the street, Z recently filmed what I think might have been a Washington Mutual back in the day, but now it is a Chase. It is reopened as a Chase Bank. And off to the left side, I didn't even know we had a vitamin shop down here in Charleston. We've got Walmart in the North Point Plaza. We've got Petco, Bank of America. So this is the section of Rivers that's a little bit more vibrant with the retail. A little bit better retail, not as run down. Most of the buildings are a little bit newer. We've got Rooms to Go, which is a furniture place. I'm going to go over here. Oh, also, we've got a really, really cool Pier 1 here that was converted over to an auto zone. So I'll see if I can get you a shot of that coming on the left side here. Off to the right, we have our Chick-fil-A and we have Best Buy. We also have Wild Wing Cafe, which was supposed to go in Somerville, where Z and I recently filmed the Mellow Mushroom. Z did the most recent filming. I did an older one earlier this year. And so we are going to head into the mall, guys, for Northwoods. And Wild Wing Cafe is still open, but before it was Wild Wing Cafe, here, and it's off to the right side. You guys can't see it. I believe it might have been a Don Pablo's, because there is the roof line looks almost like it's like a southwestern design, and there is a star in the middle, which makes me think that it was some type of Tex-Mex theme for the Wild Wing Cafe. That it was probably a Don Pablo or some type of Mexican restaurant. Now, Northwoods Mall is really busy. We don't have really high-end malls here in Charleston. We have King Street, which is our high-end retail, and you basically have to walk up and down King Street. You can park and you basically walk. So some really nice boutique shops and high-end retail. But our retail here in Charleston is kind of like a mid-level retail. Our mall, Northwoods, and also Citadel, we really don't have expensive stores, which, hey, whatever, it's nice to see high-end retail. Not that I would really be buying anything there. But here at this mall for Northwoods, we do have, it looks like O'Charlie's is still open. We also have an Olive Garden. We have a Bahama Breeze. So Bahama Breeze is probably the most fanciest of the restaurants per se. O'Charlie's, I believe, is hurting at the moment. I think the one over in Somerville isn't doing that well. So here we go, guys. We're going to pull into the mall parking lot. Oh, left here. Sorry about this that you can't see, but there is an Outback. I didn't even know there was an Outback here. Now, to the forward of us, we see Dillard's. I'm going to make a left, and we are going to pass by. It looks like, did Hooters go out of business? No, Hooters did not go out of business, but something else did. Hold on one second here. Let's see what went out of business. So, what was this, guys? I don't know. Huh. Let's see. That's all you need. That's all you need. Oh, NTB? Oh, this was National Tire and Battery. Okay, now I see. Okay, so this went out. Now this is must be a recent leave. There are all the bays for NTB. Boy, I'm surprised NTB went out of business. Um, Geez. Okay, so NTB went out of business at Northwoods. So that's our first retailer that has gone out at Northwoods. We have Hooters off to the left there. And again, we see Dillard's to the forward. Let's go ahead and make sure that we don't get in an accident. All right, so now we do have a movie theater here at Northwoods. And I don't know if this movie theater or many movie theaters are going to be able to last, guys. I just filmed a movie theater in Columbia that went out of business earlier this morning, and it was a local theater. It was possibly a Carmike at one point, but that went out of business. And I'll have that video up very soon. But here is our movie theater for Northwoods Mall. And we also have a nice movie theater near our Stars and Strikes in Somerville, South Carolina. So Stars and Strikes is basically like a yeah, the movie theater looks to be doing okay. Stars and Strikes is basically like a Dave and Buster's. So for those of you that know Dave and Buster's, Stars and Strikes is our version. I don't think we have a Dave and Buster's here in Charleston, not that I'm aware of at least. So we again see the Dillard's end of the mall. We're going to drive around. We're going to go check out that carpet place that I filmed earlier this year. And boy, the traffic is backed up bad. Parking lot's real busy, guys. So I did a holiday special at this mall last year, so definitely check it out. Nothing to my knowledge has really changed on the inside, so I don't think I'm going to do another one this year. And we're getting close to the Belk end of the mall. Yeah, this stop really screws things up. So let's go ahead and see if we can get through without getting in an accident. Look at that. We got through without getting into an accident. Happy, happy, joy, joy. All right, cool. So there is the carpets to go. I'm just going to pull through this lot here because the carpets to go is, I believe it was our original Ashley Home Center. And I'm not sure if I can pull through. I'll keep on pulling through. But that has been out of business now for a while. They moved to a new location. And yeah, I think I can pull through the parking lot and hopefully not drive over anybody. And again, guys, please share the live. Also like it. We greatly appreciate it. This is my first live since getting 1,000 subs. Thank you so much for that. We're almost about to hit an hour here. We've visited a bunch of random abandoned and closed retail stores. So here is our carpet to go. And again, this was, I believe, an Ashley, or no, wait, maybe this was a Lazy Boy Home Center. Yeah, so I think this was a Lazy Boy Home Center. We are going to drive past here. Let me try and get you a good angle so you can see. Oh, wait, something looks like it went out over here. Hold on one second. Off to the end of this little strip, it looks like something has gone out of business, maybe. Hams. What is Hams? I don't know what these places are. Hams. Staffing services. Okay, yeah, so that I believe went out. The sign on the side is gone. There's a Tuxedo Junction down there, a computer store. So this is the Ice Palace. This is our only ice arena here in Charleston to the forward past this tree. And then also one of the cool things that I did not get a chance to film, but I know Z did, is there was a Denny's diner. And also Wally B, shout out Wally B, recently did the Denny's Diner earlier this year. And so, like the week after I drove past the diner and was like, I got to film that, it was demolished. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So, unfortunately, the Denny's Diner got demolished. And it was one of the old style diners, like back in Jersey, that looked like an aluminum rail car. So, this is our Ice Palace here in Charleston. Really, really nice rinks. So the hockey teams practice here. So you've got the Stingrays, which are our local semi-pro hockey team that play at North Charleston Arena. And then also there is free skate here at this arena, which is real cool. So good time for everybody. We've got a Busy Bee Indoor Play Center. This is a kind of a rundown strip mall, but it's still active. Looks like there's a chiropractic place that went out of business. Looks like there is a Chinese place or an Oriental supermarket that went out of business. Yeah, I have a feeling the developer might be knocking this place down. Almost everything's out of business. And then there's a yeah, everything's out of business. Okay, so past Busy Bee, everything's out of business now here at Northwood Center. So again, the mall's doing great, but the Northwood Strip Mall is not. I'm not sure. Somebody I think told me that they're going to be doing apartments here. There are so many people that are moving down to this Charleston area. It is crazy. We have had an absolute population boom, and granted, I was also part of that population boom coming down here about 5 years ago. Here we see a massive load of trash, so this looks like it's a dumping area. Not cool. And what we're going to do is we're going to drive around Northwoods Mall, guys. Uh, yeah, the Green Dragon is closed. Let me go back, um, middle child. Let me go back real quick here. I'm pretty sure that was closed. So thanks for throwing the question in the chat. It's good to be engaged with you guys. I know we got 4 folks on the live. Let's see. I could almost swear that it was totally dark on that Green Dragon. And I mean, we're at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. So let's go back here. Have you eaten at the Green Dragon? I assume it's a nice place, yeah? All right. I see it. I'm going to pull around and we're going to park like right in front of it. And yeah, it's closed. Yeah, it's gone. Oh, Green Dragon was the comic book place. That's right. Okay. So, yeah, that's closed. So, the last time I was here, they had the best comic book store in town. I don't know if that's I hate to say I don't know if that's saying much, unfortunately. Um, Charleston, in my opinion, is one of the worst markets for like comic books. I'm actually friends with Dale, the guy that owns the comic shop in Florence. What is it? I can't remember the name of it. Galactic. Um, yeah, and so Galactic Comics, Middle Child. If you haven't been to Galactic in Florence, you have to go see. So Dale recently started that store about a year ago. He took over an old Salvation Army store, I believe, and it is the largest store that you're definitely going to see here on the East Coast. He's got so many comics, it's crazy, but it's not just comics. He's got a lot of vintage games or vintage toys. So he's got toys, comics, huge Star Wars section. And I'm into graded comics. I like graded comics from like the 60s and the 70s, Marvel stuff like that. I'm not a big collector, but I love the artwork of the comic books. So, yeah, so Green Dragon is out. Now, this was here and it was open about 6 months ago. So, basically, from the Green Dragon or from the Carpet Place all the way down the strip mall to the Busy Bee. The Busy Bee is still open. Everything is now closed in this strip mall. So it makes me think that the developer that owns this property or the owner of the property is finally going to redevelop it. So again, the Oriental Place is out of business. There's a commissary kitchen that's gone. So I assume that was one of those like, rent the kitchen space. Body chiropractic looks to be gone. Yeah, that's empty. Busy Bee's the only thing, guys. So, in the Carolina Ice Palace. All right, so let's go ahead and spin back around and we're going to go drive around the mall. And then I think we're going to be calling it a day soon on the live because I don't think there's too much more down rivers that I can show you guys, that's of any interest per se. There'll probably be some other random stores, but let's check out the parking lot at Northwoods and see how busy it is. And again, guys, for those of you that have joined me, the camera is mounted to the windshield. So it is not in my hands. So nice and safe. And I'm just driving along, talking like a nitwit nonstop. So, and if you have any questions about North Charleston or Charleston, feel free to ask them in the comments. And I believe either the middle child can answer them for you, or Z might also still be on the feed, and Z can answer any questions for you. And so Northwoods is looking pretty busy, guys. Now, I was at the Citadel Mall last week, and I did film that. I did put up that video, so definitely check it out. So would really appreciate that. Let's try and get past this traffic. So people are looking for parking spots here at Northwood. So our mall's busy here. Now Citadel's doing okay, but it's doing okay because of MUSC, Medical University of South Carolina, and also Target. I see Michael. Are you in North Charleston by Northwoods Mall? Yes, Michael, I am. I am in Northwoods now, right now. I'm just doing a drive around of the mall. I won't be going into the mall. There's going to be way too many people in the mall, and I don't want to freak people out by filming them. If you like, definitely check out my recent video to Northwoods from last season, where I did a Christmas special at the mall. My Christmas special for this year will be from the mall in Murrells Inlet, Inlet Square. Inlet Square is in its final days right now. Oh, Michael, you're on James Island. Awesome. How you doing? So Inlet Square Mall, guys, for those of you that are in the Charleston area or even down into Wilming or up into Wilmington, if you can get down to Myrtle Beach and Murrells Inlet, and if you want, film the Inlet Square Mall. It is down to about 30 days. Right now, we're about 30 days from the Inlet Square Mall being gone. It will be closed forever, and really unfortunate. So I was at the mall. Boy, I was at the mall actually last night. I don't even know what day it is anymore. I was actually at the mall last night, was luckily able to film it. I thought it had already closed, but I was able to film it. And I am so happy that I did. Boy, this traffic is bad to get out on the rivers. All right, so what we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna do a little spin-a-rooney, and we are going to. There's our Bahama Breeze, also off to the left side. Now, this is our Burlington Coat Factory. Now, I actually grew up with the original Burlington Coat Factory on Route 130 in Jersey. It was the first. It was in Burlington, New Jersey, of course, on Route 130 near the 130 Circle. And so, if Sleeve is possibly on the live, Sleeve, I know that you better get that Kitty City video up soon, or I definitely will be unsubscribing. Yeah, Charleston is overpopulated. Yeah, there's no doubt, Michael. I agree with you on that. Got a lot of Northerners like myself that moved down. It's really nice to be able to live your life down here. That's people really don't mess with each other as much down here as I've experienced up in the north. People live their life, and it's kind of a f around and a find out type situation down here. So if you mess with people, they're gonna push right back on you. But if you don't mess with them, they'll respect you, and that's what I really like about South Carolina. You stay out of people's business, you're good. So yeah, traffic is a nightmare. Yeah, Route 26, 526 is a real pain. So anybody that has to go downtown or from one side of Charleston to the other, it's a nightmare down here. The roadways are not wide enough. There are not enough roads. Unfortunately, it's happening that way in every city where people are moving to. Um, Raleigh is a good example of that. Atlanta. I mean, at least it ain't Atlanta traffic. So, uh, all right. Are there any abandoned drive-in theaters? No. You know what? That's a good question, Tech. Um, I'm unaware of any drive-ins that were down here in Charleston. So I grew up actually with a drive-in in Jersey, and that was the Route 130 drive-in near the Circle for 1 and 130 in North Brunswick, or the Route 1 drive-in. Now, Tech, that's probably before your time. I think you're younger than me. But near Carolier Lanes, which I think is now a Bolero on the Circle for 1 and 130 in North Brunswick, there was a drive-in theater that was just a little bit further south on Route 1 from that circle. And there was a mall that took over that area called the Fashion Plaza Mall, or the Fashion Mall. And I'm not even sure if that mall is still there, by the way. So I haven't been back to Jersey in probably a decade. But that area of Central Jersey is my spot, Middlesex County. So I wish Charleston had a Meyer. Oh yeah, we love Meyer. Yeah, because Walmart and Target suck. Yeah, Meyer's awesome. I got to experience Meyer. I lived in Pittsburgh for a decade, so I got to experience Meyer. Absolutely love Meyer. And for those of you that have up north and in the Mid-Atlantic, Wegmans, I am very jealous of you. Wegmans is awesome. Great grocery store for those of you that have never been to a Wegmans. It is the place. Foods are great, prices are great, and they hire people that actually are very friendly. They, if you're not friendly, they don't hire you at a Wegmans. It's very similar to Chick-fil-A. If you don't have a good personality, Chick-fil-A ain't hiring you. So, all right, guys, we're going to head back on Rivers. The live's been going for about 70 minutes. I appreciate you joining me. We are having a fun time. And as we head back on Rivers, what we're going to do is, oh, you know what? I should have continued down. Yeah, you know what? Let's continue down another click here. So I just want to make sure that I don't get in an accident. These cars are coming from the left. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is I think we're going to go check out Toys R Us. What do you think? Should we go check out Toys R Us? I know the answer to that's going to be yes. So let me get over here and let me turn back around, and we are going to go check out Toys R Us. I forgot about Toys R Us. So across from Northwoods Mall is an abandoned Toys R Us. Now, I have filmed that Toys R Us. Z has also filmed that Toys R Us, so definitely check out both of our videos about this Toys R Us. And is a Wegmans similar to a Harris Teeter? Yes. Okay, so good question, Michael. And then signal is so bad. My friend just went yesterday. Belk Wing has no power anymore. I'm going to send a picture on Facebook. Cool. Awesome, Chris. Yeah, thanks for jumping in the chat here. I'm not sure if that you meant your signal's bad or mine is bad. It looks like I've got good signal. I'm in North Charleston, and usually, unless there's heavy usage on the towers, usually this is a very good signal area for me. Okay, so to answer the question with Michael, Wegmans. So Harris Teeter is kind of, well, Wegmans is what Harris Teeter wants to be, is how I should put it. So when you walk into a Wegmans, the first two aisles, oh, Signal Hill Mall. Oh, awesome, Chris. Oh my God, I can't wait to see that video. I love Signal Hill Mall. That is after Dan Bell did that video, and we go up there for some sports tournaments in that area through the year, and I love Signal Hill. It is the most awesome mall, but it is also the mall where we're risking our lives by going in. The amount of black mold in that mall is to the point of criminal. So, all right, guys, what we're going to do, we've got Toys R Us off to the left here. But before we get to Toys R Us, and I'll get back to Wegmans in a moment, before we get to Toys R Us, we are going to take a look at what used to be the big theater here in Charleston. Now you'll see a sign that looks like it's like a skeleton of a sign. This was where the big theater was in North Charleston, right here in this spot. So it's already been demolished, but there are a few videos of this theater and the building. So definitely check out. Chris, my Facebook is Charleston Pinball Arcade. And then also, if you just check out Charleston Pinball Arcade, I also post my personal name on a bunch of the retail and dead retail groups. So you can just find me that way. I don't want to verbalize my name. You guys can easily find out who I am. You know, I'm not hiding from anybody or anything. I'm always looking to make new friends here in the dead mall and retail environment. But this right here, this concrete slab was the big movie theater of Charleston and North Charleston. But take a look at the lights. You can see to the right there, the lights are the old school lights, probably from the 70s or the 80s. I absolutely love them. They're still up here. But this was knocked down probably about 3 or 4 years ago, unfortunately. Now, what I'm going to do for you is we're going to spin back around and we're going to enter the shopping center that is for Toys R Us. Now, of course, Toys R Us is a abandoned store. I think it's going to wind up being taken over sometime soon because there is so much going on here in Charleston and North Charleston. I just find it very hard to believe that something's not going to pop into this Toys R Us space. Okay, so we're going to cross the street. And again, guys, the phone is mounted to my windshield for safety, so I am not holding it. Basically, I'm driving and talking with you as if you were with me right now. Now, just in front of us, those two doors, that's the old Toys R Us shipping area, okay? So we're going to get a little bit closer here, and I'm going to drive through those doors into Toys R Us. No. So it's, and also like the feed, guys, if you could, I'd really appreciate it. Here is the old pickup for Toys R Us. How cool is that, guys? So just to the left there, you see the press to open. So I'm not sure if these might have been glass back in the day. Maybe they've replaced them. But so you would have the area where you would come and pick up your bicycles and your larger toys, and gym sets and stuff like that. Now we're going to drive on the side. Now take a look at that tower that's in front of us. See the part that's like stacked up almost like a turret? That used to have on the other side of that, and it's just literally just a an empty wall that had the Toys R Us logo that you would see from the Northwoods Mall. So you would be able to see that, oh yeah, there's Toys R Us over there. And what I'll do is I'll spin around so we can check that out also, because that's a pretty cool piece of the Toys R Us history for this mall, as I try not to run over these bikes. And hey, Chris, I think I saw a invite come over on my Facebook, so I'll definitely say hi to you. So right there, where you see some rust bolts, or some rust from bolts, I should say, up on that tower there of brick, that used to be the Toys R Us sign back in the day. All right, so we've got a Boxcar Betty's, which for those of you that don't know is a fried chicken place. It's a chicken sandwich place. It's almost like a Chick-fil-A, and I'm not sure if it was, yeah, probably Chick-fil-A's been down here longer than that place, but it's like a local version of Chick-fil-A. Really, really good fried chicken sandwiches. All right, so I'm going to spin back around here and we're going to show you the Toys R Us. And now this also was a Kids R Us too. And now we also have Urban Air in front of us, excuse me. But there it is, guys. There's our Toys R Us. So I'm just going to park it here, go to Ollie's now. I'm not going in any stores, Michael. I'm just hanging out today in the car. I've actually got to get back over to one side of town. I got one of my kids has a sports activity going on. It's just a training session though, so I couldn't be part of it. So there's our Toys R Us, guys. You got palm trees off to the right. Beautiful picture. Yeah, it's the older style Toys R Us. This is with the turrets, in the orange underneath the turrets, and you used to walk in the middle there. So I'm not sure if you can see it on the bottom part of the middle of this picture. It's a blow molded entrance sign, and it had Jeffrey's face on it, and it's been covered up. I guess they just sprayed it black. Uh, Michael, no, I don't live in West Ashley. I'm not going to say the town that I live in, but I don't live in West Ashley. I live actually a little bit further inland. Um, so, yeah, it used to be an old country buffet in the same shopping center, Toys R Us. Is that a label scar? Yes. So, off to the right, the label scar is a Kids R Us where the palm trees are. And actually, let me move a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. So that was a Kids R Us. Okay. So this was a Kids R Us, Toys R Us. You got the old turret style facade. I mean, this is beautiful. I really, really hope that whoever comes and takes over this property can just keep it the way it is and put their signage up. Most of the architecture of today, as you guys know, is just a off-white box, and it just sucks. That's not really what we need. We need some imagination. Now, the off-white box is usually the cheapest thing to do, so that's why it happens. And as I drive a little closer here, take a look at that entrance sign, and you can see the outline of Jeffrey on it. So where we used to walk in, or where anybody would walk in, this wasn't my Toys R Us, by the way. My Toys R Us was East Brunswick, New Jersey, and on Route 18 near Loman's, in Loman's Plaza. And my actual real toy store was actually Myers, which was on Route 18 in East Brunswick. And it was a toy store, hobby store, dolls, and furniture and cribs for like nursery furniture for babies. And guys, what a beautiful old school toy store. The G.I. Joes, the Transformers, the He-Man figures, and the place had a certain smell about it too. It was just absolutely amazing. But when it came to national retailers, Toys R Us was my retailer. But I was lucky enough to have a local mom and pop toy store called Myers. And it actually started back in the 1910s or 1920s and then moved to East Brunswick, and unfortunately, the husband and wife that owned it, their family did not want to continue on with the business, so they sold it, and they probably sold it. It's probably about maybe 25 years ago they sold it, and the building that it was in has been demolished, and it's now a Lowe's home improvement center on Route 18 in East Brunswick, New Jersey. All right, guys. So that is our Toys R Us. I think that was a really, really good finale. Let me get out of the way here. Somebody else is coming around. Let me spin back around for one final shot. And I want to say goodbye to you guys for the day. I really appreciate you joining me. We're going to do some more lives like this. I had a lot of fun. And I actually should have done a live this morning from Orangeburg and also from Columbia, but I did not. So shame on me. I will remember to do it next time. Orangeburg, guys, if you ever get a chance to go to Orangeburg, South Carolina, there is so much stuff to film. It is mind blowing how much retail they built and how much retail is dead and dying there. But Orangeburg is coming back a little bit as more and more folks move down here to South Carolina. There's a lot of opportunity to own a home in Orangeburg. The schools might not be that great, but if your kid's going to college or you don't have kids in school, you can really purchase a home, a nice piece of property, and really live your life really well. And then also, I was up in Columbia to start the day, and Columbia also, the amount of retail, and you guys have even seen that in Wally B's videos recently, where he has come down here to South Carolina. There is so much stuff to film in Columbia, and there's not a lot here in Charleston, and Z will also attest to that. Here in Charleston, because there's so many people moving down to Charleston, there's not that much that stays vacant. And actually, as I say that, I think is the Party City off to the this is this is like the never ending back to Wegmans. Yeah, back to Wegmans. So when you go into Wegmans, the first two aisles are all prepared foods. Subs, pizzas, sushi. Then the rest of Wegmans, they have their own personal branded stuff. Really good prices. And also one of the things with Wegmans is that it is consistently one of the top places to work. So no, Party City is still open. I'm very surprised, actually. I thought they were either going or will be all going out of business. So Wegmans is absolutely awesome. It's always on Forbes' top list of places to work, along with Google. So like Google and Forbes will usually be like one, or Google and Wegmans, excuse me, will usually be one and two. All right, guys, I'm going to be ending the live here. Really appreciate it. So, Michael, I see you retracted a few messages. If you typed anything wrong, yeah, just retype it. If you got a question, more than happy to answer. Let me spin back around one more time. Can you even share photos on a live stream? No, 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 Chris. I don't think you can share photos. So, but here's our Toys R Us final call, guys. As I leave you today, I appreciate your time. I'm going to go shopping in Toys R Us. What do you think? What am I going to find in there? It'd be great if I could find anything, but no, we're not entering any buildings. Just having some fun. All right, guys, thank you very much for your time. Yeah, Z, thank you very much. Thanks for joining today. Doing great videos, and I wish you a great holiday. I should be doing another live, maybe in another week or so. We'll see what happens this week. Got some busy stuff going on. There's an abandoned Bilo and Huddle House on James Island. Ooh, Huddle House. I haven't done one of those. Bilo, yeah, they're all out of business because I believe it was Food Lion that bought them. And actually, for those of you that haven't seen it, go check out Z-Man's video. He just did the Bilo in downtown Charleston that went out of business. and then also was a food truck parking lot for a few years after it went out of business. But a really good video. And also, Z almost got attacked by a squirrel in that video. So check it out. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I wish you a great day. Happy holidays if I don't speak to you. And I will see you. Bye bye.